guest today, and she's going to be joining in a second. Her Instagram name is Heather_Tamily. So follow her if you aren't already. And we're adding her now. It says it's waiting. And of course, we have questions planned. But hello, Heather.
Hello. Long time no see.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone can ask questions in the chat too, and we'll scroll through it and make sure we get to everything. Thank you, Heather, for being our 50th Ask Tamily interview.
It's so exciting. Thank you for having me.
It really is. I cannot get over that it's the 50th. So it's a momentous occasion for us. We'll start with some of our planned questions, and then we'll check the chat for any live questions.
Okay.
So our first question for you is, why did you choose the Tracy Anderson method over any other fitness method?
So, I don't know. I was an athlete in high school and a little bit in college and always just wanted to work out. And then in my late 20s, early 30s, everyone was doing these weird fad workouts and diets, HCG, where we were putting drops in our mouth and not eating. It was crazy. And nothing really worked. And then I decided I was fancy and joined Equinox and got a trainer, and things were okay. And eventually I got a horse, so I had zero workout budget anymore. And then I read in a magazine Gwyneth Paltrow was being interviewed about Tracy Anderson and metamorphosis, and I was like, I'm going to try that because at least I could do just 90 days doing it. So I started it, and honestly, more than any weird diet or anything I've done, I finally saw results. And I was doing the measurements and everything like you're supposed to and tracking the calendar. And then I got pregnant, kind of fell off the wagon, and it was like back and forth. But I did do her pregnancy workout, and I did the postpartum. But it was awesome when I was pregnant with my daughter. It was right after she had Penny. So that's when the pregnancy workout came out. But I always did the postpartum. And when was it? After I had my daughter, Natalie, I went into Orange Theory, which was fine. I got over the hump. But I don't know. People may call us a cult, but I'm like, Orange Theory is kind of cultish, and it's just, I traveled so much, so I needed something to go on the road. And last October, I was like, you know what? No more excuses. I'm doing it. I'm doing the streaming. So I started in October, and I've been really consistent, and it's amazing.
Excellent. Do you do Attain or IMC, or what's your routine?
I switch. So I did IMC 2 days ago, and then yesterday did Attain, but now I'm torn. So I usually try to do mostly Attain, unless it's a lot of rolling around and I have creepy hotel room floors, because I am creeped up by dirty floors. So I really judge a lot of how much rolling around am I going to have to do. Not too much, then I'll stick with Attain. But on occasion, I even just go back to multitask, or I do the performance one, the no equipment. Like when I had no space. It was like the size of my desk right here, so I ended up working out on my bed. Someone gave me that idea, and it was hilarious.
Crazy.
But I try to do Attain when I can.
You got to make it happen.
And this is Cassie. I do day drink.
Well, I am this time too, because I have a sinus infection. So I may have to drink some of that during this interview. And I'm a little loopy from it already.
Oh, no.
But we would like to know, what kind of results have you seen since you've been doing the method?
So when I first started, first of all, the whole Tamily thing, I was also a stalker, like everyone else said. I'm like, yeah, there's no chance I'm posting on Instagram ever in a million years. Because I work in a male-dominant field, and some of them, most are really nice, but some are creepy. So I'm like, I don't want anyone to find me, or heaven forbid, see me working out. It would be inappropriate, can't do it. So I at first was working out with that band around my waist, and I know some people noticed, and I had extreme bloat just after having my daughter, and I don't know what it was, but everyone else was in teensy tiny sports bras and bodysuits, and I'm like, I'm gonna wear this band. I don't care. And I think it was actually Tanya who asked first, and she's like, oh, you look awesome. So I was like, maybe I could work out without the band. So that's one of the first things I noticed, is that bloat that I blamed on my birth control and everything else went away. So my stomach flattened. My arms have gotten better. Everyone's always like, why do you have great arms? I'm like, well, my 2-year-old is 35 pounds and Tracy. But my back, so I just noticed everything toning up, and I lost 7 pounds.
Wow.
After quitting Orange Theory, which is great. I'm like, I think I was too much cardio, which is what Tracy has said changes when you get closer to 40. I think that's what was happening.
Okay. That's excellent. Who in the Tamily inspires you?
So lots, almost everyone, but Blanche Forbes, I love Colleen, love her. I honestly, I am not the most happy, energetic. I'm like, oh, I have to work out, like Groucho. And she's so happy, and her energy is amazing. And I love that she had a baby recently. And honestly, if I lived in Australia, I would introduce Natalie to her son because they're adorable and they would be great. I also love Arlene. I think she's Arlene Tam4. And she's the one that got me into performance when it was premium. And she was just really, I feel like she now needs motivation and people to support her. But she was always so supportive. And here, try this. And you should do this workout. And she's just amazing. And I love seeing her transformation. Dana, I have no idea how she's working out with that belly. Anytime I'm like, I'm not going to do a teen. And then I see her, I'm like, well, now I have to. This is crazy.
Right.
Like, she's rocking it. And Christina, For the Love of Peachy Bottom, I admired that she created For the Love of Rock Stars, and she is literally rocking it. It's amazing. But that's always starstruck. If I need a motivation, I'll look at Kim Tamily, Sass Tam, and Kimberly Love. I'm like, all right, you're making it look easy. I can do it today, too. When I'm feeling super lazy.
Well, it's awesome that you mentioned Arlene because she's watching. She has a question for you. So she said, hi, boss babe. How's the new job?
So I officially start on the 15th, but everyone seems to think I started already. And I'm actually extremely anxious. I feel like, just like, that's why I'm day drinking today. It's my last week of my old job while I'm in London. So I'm working remotely in a different country doing all my exit interviews, but hopefully it goes well. There's some guy drama, not with me, but I swear these guys that I work with are so insecure that they like just nitpick and battle with each other, and then I'm in the middle. So I'm trying to please big men who are acting like big babies.
Yeah, I can understand that. Do you have any workout partners?
So I'm always trying to recruit. But you guys have seen my workout partners. They're usually my husband, my son, and my dog, and my daughter. My 2-year-old loves Tracy. But I've had, I think, 2 friends. They're not ready for Tamily yet, but they're actually doing the online streaming. Oh. And I think I recruited a 3rd, possibly. Oh. So I'm trying to grow it. But all my neighbors, I'm like, come work out. But they want to, like, do heavy weightlifting and stuff. They don't get the concept of it. And honestly, Tracy's intimidating. When you see it the first time, you're like, what is this little person doing?
Yeah.
Did she smoke crack today? How does she have so much energy? It's crazy.
Yeah. And
my first time, I'm like, no way.
Around, right?
Yeah, no way. And I think Courtney said the same thing. I watched on the first episode of Performance when she was like, you meet this little person. She called her mom. She's like, no way. What does she know about fitness? She's tiny. But it's amazing.
It really is. She's incredible. Meg would like to know, what do you do?
Oh, geez. Okay, so I'm a super nerd. And what's funny is I couldn't figure out how to make this work. But my technical job is digital forensics. Some people call it cybersecurity, but I have worked everything from child exploitation cases to terrorism. I work Bin Laden's phones. So I do a lot of just chasing bad people behind computers, and most of it now is Android and iPhone.
Okay. Wow.
And then when I travel, that's what I'm doing. I'm teaching essentially law enforcement, government, military, how to do what I regularly do.
Wow.
No, it's so nerdy, right?
Not at all. It sounds super cool. Makes my job sound very nerdy.
Well, that's when I'm like, can someone help me? How do you post your videos? Can someone like, how do I know this stuff?
It's difficult. It really is. Have you ever been to a Vitality Week or studio?
I have been dying to go since I think like 2012 or 2013, and then it was like pregnant nursing, work, pregnant nursing, work. And this year I told my husband for Christmas and my birthday, I want nothing. I am going, no matter where in the world it is, I am going. So I'm going to the Hamptons in August, and I cannot freaking wait.
I can't wait either. I'll be there with you.
I can't wait. It's going to be my first time. And even today, my son was like, Mom, are you going to meet Tracy today? I was like, no, I'm just doing a Tracy interview. And he's like, what are you going to say to Tracy when she joins? I'm like, she's not going to join. But she's like a household name around here, so I cannot wait. I honestly may die. And I'm so excited to stay with 6 of you. So we're all getting house. And I also thinks that's crazy. Because like, you don't know these people. It's like Cassie was saying, we all have faith that we're going to meet up, but you never know. What if someone's catfishing and they're really some crazy, but we're not. So
it doesn't seem to have happened so far. It's like everybody that meets, even in other countries, even like staying together without ever having met, it always works out. We're really super lucky. Super lucky.
And I'm trying to do a meetup in London next week. So I've reached out to everyone, even if it's just for drinks or dinner.
That's awesome.
It's working out today, and I'm still here. So
yeah. Well, that would be fantastic. There's always someone in the Tamily, no matter what city that you're in. What advice would you have to someone that's new to the Tamily?
So new to Tracy in general, like she always says, consistency. I think like my neighbor started, and she wanted to see results in 5 seconds, and she's not going to. And she definitely needs to do the dance cardio and some other things. And she'll complain. She's like, my back hurts. I'm like, it's supposed to. Like, that's actually not your back. That's your butt. And that's a good point. Like, oh, okay. But just consistency. But new to Tamily, and I forget who was recently new and posting. Today someone even was like, this is my first post. And it's embarrassing, but this is the most supportive, kind group. Which, I know it sounds awful, but most women aren't. We're usually nasty to each other and be like, I don't like blonde hair. I don't like... Right. People wear bodysuits, but everyone is so nice. And I've never met a group of women who are so encouraging of each other. It's mind blowing. And I think it speaks for Tracy too. Like, my husband's like, I know all you women are catty. And he's always like making fun of me. He's like, but Tracy must be great if these people have worked for her this long. Because I make him listen to some of her. But it's so true.
It is. It really is. I really think this community, especially because we're on social media, it's like the most positive social media community in the world. Like, just so encouraging and supportive, and
it makes you want to do it. Like, I actually feel like if I don't post for 3 days, you guys may think something bad happened to me. I need to do something and just be like, hey, I'm lazy today. Nothing.
Yeah, people will be like, are you okay? What happened? We haven't heard from you.
Yes.
It's so wonderful. It really is an amazing community. What is something that you have learned from Tracy?
So, something I have a hard time with is just focusing on myself. I feel like I always just want to make everyone else happy, but taking time for yourself, and the fact that it blows my mind that Tracy has extra skin above her belly button too. So I'm like, every time she says stuff like that, or even when she was talking about how she wears bodysuits because heaven forbid someone see a fold or something on her, to know that she is like that makes me feel like it's okay for all of us to be like that. And then I always feel, I'm like, I can't say, or I can't complain about this, or I can't complain about this. But you really can. But it's so nice when people are like, ab goals, and look at your arms. It's so nice. But I think Tracy just, even when she did her speech right after Eric had passed, like taking time for yourself, life is short, like staying healthy, that just really resonated with me. So I try to at least give myself an hour every day.
Yeah.
I admire people who can do the doubles and all of that. I'm surprised people aren't fussing in here right now.
Yeah, definitely that the speech she did after that workout, that was really, really impactful. I feel like it's always impactful whenever she says anything to us, like especially because we're with her, just with music so often. But that one, it's like it's not just about the workout and how you look. It's about your health and wellness, and you got to
Yes. And honestly, I was waiting for someone to complain about where is she. And I'm like, oh, please don't let anyone be nasty. But everyone was so amazing.
Yeah. I can't believe she didn't work out for 15 days, and she really exactly the same. Because this workout, it gets you to like an athletic state that it really could, if you've been consistent, go without doing it for a short time. Unbelievable. Do you have any tips for doing TAM while traveling? We know you do it in hotel rooms.
Dear Lord, cover your floor with towels because it's nasty. And I hurt my shoulder once trying to stay propped up weird. So I do and Kim Tamily gave me advice once to borrow weights. So I borrow hand weights from the hotel if I can. and a map. But
Okay.
if it's local travel, I'll take my own. But tonight, when I fly to London, I will fly with an extra bag with my ankle weights in it, and I don't care. That's why I have airline status, because some people see it and they're like, "Are those weights?" I'm like, "Yep, sure are in my bag." But I wear my ankle weights on my wrist for the arm part.
Okay. That's good.
And there's always the performance, but obviously not everyone has that. But the no weights is even a nice change up if you need to squeeze in. I am not brave enough, like some of you that just go into the gym and rock it. And I did it the other day with 5 people, and I thought I was going to die at first. I'm like, oh, I'm so embarrassed, but I'm through it. I don't care. I'm never going to see them again.
Right.
Just doing my workout.
Yeah.
But I do try to squeeze in my room, because then I can at least crank up the heat and try to do more of the Tracy style.
Right.
But just do it as much as you can. And honestly, it helps me with jet lag. So tomorrow when I land, I'm going to try to work out right away and stay awake.
Okay.
So it is helpful.
Good idea.
Like time changes.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you fall into an excuse, I used to always say I don't have to work out when I travel. But I travel about 15 weeks a year. So it's such an easy way to just form bad habits. So now I'm like, I take 5 workout outfits, and my goal is always to wear at least 4. And if I dirty all 5, I'm so proud of myself. It's like, like, yes, I did it.
So Nicole has a question. Oh, we're falling over. Nicole would like to know, what is your greatest takeaway from Tracy's new post-class mini lectures?
To take up space. I think I am one of those people, like, even when I type, every time I get a massage, I get yelled at, because the lady's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I sit like this all day. So I'm always trying to, like, just stand back. And honestly, like, growing up, I was really flat-chested. So I think I always kind of did this to protect my biggest insecurity. So it's hard for me to be like, hey, here I am, and all is good. It's just not really who I am. But I really am trying now to just expand and take up space. And honestly, the recording thing, my husband used to make fun of it. And he's like, you're so weird. And he's like, wait, am I in that video? I'm like, sure are. Toast.
Toast.
But it makes me want to hold myself properly and make sure everything. Otherwise, like when she's like, don't do this. It was the one where we were crouching forward and coming, like, don't be like, and that's exactly what I did until I watched. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So it makes me accountable and makes me hold myself properly and take up the space.
Right, definitely. Because even with mirrors, like, you don't see how everything is like you do in the video and realize, like, exactly what your form is.
Yep.
And how, sometimes you're putting way too much weight into your shoulders and stuff. Like, just looking at that definitely helps.
Yep. I used to, honestly, I would watch the videos and be like, nope, I don't like how my pants, like, I have a roll sitting on my pants, or I don't like this one. So I would try to pick the videos where I looked the best. But then yesterday, I was like, screw it. You see a roll, but I'm trying hard. I'm sweating to death, and I don't care. Because when I stand up, the roll is gone. That's all that matters.
Right.
Gravity, however it works best, right? Like legs in the air, and they're all thin.
Right. Yeah. Let me see if there's anything else in the chat. Oh, so Meg would like to know, what time of day do you work out?
Oh, I wish I was consistent like the rest of you, and I am horrible about that. So I love to work out first thing in the morning, and I used to do that for a while, but then I realized my kids feel like they're missing out on Tracy, so they wake up even earlier. My life hell, because my daughter will like pee on the floor, or someone or something else. And now I wait until they are settled in, and I take my lunch break earlier in the day. I work from home, which is helpful. So I'll work out before I have any meetings. And then sometimes I log into my meetings like all sweaty, and I don't really care. So I try to get it.
Gotta do it.
I don't have a lot of energy in the evening. Plus, once I have a glass of wine, I'm like, I'm not gonna work out.
Yeah. That's definitely the working from home helps with being.
It really does. Although when I left the office, I had to work out in the morning, so I had like no lame excuses.
Yeah. Why is your workout important to you?
I feel like, so my job is definitely a high stress type job, dealing with crimes against children and terrorism and all of that. I also think just being a wife is stressful, being a mother is stressful. It is the one thing that I can do where especially with a teen, I'm like, what is this circus move I'm doing? So I can't think about anything but that.
Right.
Will I die of this heat? Because Colleen was like, oh, get this Vito heater. And I'm like, I really am going to freaking croak down here in my gym. But it takes my mind off everything while I'm doing it. Horseback riding used to do that for me, but I sold my horse once we moved here and I had 2 kids. I'm like, I was choosing between the horse and the kids, and it wasn't fair. And he has a fantastic home now, and I still get to ride him on occasion. But I feel like Tracy and ice hockey are the only things where it's like just a break for 1 hour. And I love how I feel when I'm done. Mm-hmm. And it's a good sore. Like today, I'm definitely sore up in here, which it's from that one attain move with. I'm like, how does that make me sore right there? But it did.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a great soreness. To me, it's so different than soreness after other workouts.
Yes, it's a soreness that you still want to go and get more sore.
Yeah,
like
exactly. Right. I don't know if maybe it's the whole thing that, we're not really ripping muscle fiber because we're not lifting heavier weights.
Yep.
It's just a totally different feeling.
But don't you feel like when you're sore, you know it's working?
Yeah, exactly.
And I get some weird spots. I'm like, oh, that's a nice one.
Right. Like I didn't know there was a muscle.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's so funny. What advice have you received from someone in the Tamily that's been impactful to you?
Lots. So I am not flexible at all. And every time I post, and I love how Tanya's like, are you not flexible? No. Like, I can bend over and touch my toes, and it's crazy. I was a cheerleader growing up, and I'm like, how the heck did I ever get away without being able to do a heel stretch? No chance can I, hold my leg up like some of you. But just ways to, point your hips and adjust your body so that I can do more of the moves, because some of them, nope. And it cracks me up. I forget who did a post once, and it was her just looking at the camera, and she was like, that's me sometimes. I'm like, it's not going to happen. But I think just different ways of holding my body for flexibility. This shoulder has always been a problem for me, and it was well before I started doing the streaming. And I think I actually kind of heard it with rowing at Orange Theory. But even today, it's always more sore. So just how to get out of your shoulders and watching, and that's just been very helpful.
Yeah, definitely. Those kind of tips really make a big difference. And knowing, too, that you can modify things, but it's even when things are very, very difficult, you try them again, and eventually you can do it. Things look literally impossible.
Yep.
And then you're able to do it. Or, it's easier on the other side or whatever, which, of course, points to imbalance. But,
yeah,
it's amazing.
What really blew my mind is when I was in Outer Banks in May and I had my 5 friends doing it with me, I was like, here's the deal, we're going to try this. I didn't realize how much even talking people through a movement and being like, you're going to do this, and I kick your leg. I was like, before we knew it, we were on the next one. I'm like, oh, I should just talk to myself, talk to the camera the whole time. It was so much faster.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we have another question coming in through this little question thing. I don't know exactly what I'm doing with this, but Cassie says, how do I become a badass like you?
How do you think you're not a badass already?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
She also wants to know, how in the F do you play freaking hockey?
Oh my gosh. Honestly, I am very competitive with my husband in a good way. And of course, my son starts playing ice hockey at 4, maybe 3.5. And my husband's like, well, I have to join a men's league. I'm like, oh, you just have to? Of course you do. So all these dads are playing and they go out drinking and they have all this fun. I'm like, no, I am going to do this. So we had a mom that was like, let's start a mom's league. Moms learn how to play. I had never been on hockey skates in my life for it. But you know what? Tracy helps. All these, we have to get down on our ice skates and push tires and do little drills running around. And he's like, oh, this is going to be so hard. Your butt's going to be feeling this. And I'm like, I'm fine. And I think it has really helped me balance. But the pads are key. Without the pads, Cassie, I'm back to my usual, Mr. Burn. I'm terrified. But with the pads, one day he's like, who wants to do Superman? I'm like, I will. So I ran. I didn't land on my knees first, and I landed right on my chest. I was like, oh, I can't breathe.
Oh my God.
But it's amazing. It's such a cool cardio workout.
Yeah.
It's completely awesome.
That is fantastic.
But it's terrifying too because I can't stop. So if I'm charging you and you also can't stop, we are screwed. We're totally screwed because we're going to collide.
That is unbelievable. So when did you actually start the league and everything? How long has it been going on?
Let's see. So we are the Cougars. And I think I've been there 9 sessions. So 9 weeks ago. So it's still super, super new. It's so fun.
Wow. That is really so fun. How often do you do it?
It's once a week, but right now it's kind of crazy with summer. So I went 2 weeks ago, but I probably won't go back until like August or September.
Okay.
It'll be easier the regular year.
You have to be one of the only Tamily members that plays it.
Well, that's why it's like the split move when Cassie was doing it, eating her Cheez-Its. I was like, okay, I'm going to do this on ice skates. And then I was afraid I would actually go too far into a split and not get back out.
Seriously. Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. So I'm checking the chat. There's a lot of comments, but I don't
I keep seeing everyone join. Hi, Emily. I love your mirrors in your garage. You know what? I wish I could ask her a question. I'm very curious about people who have these bird's eye view because it's such a cool view of the workout.
Yeah. I worked out with Emily. She can probably answer in the chat, but she has. I don't know if it's a little shelf or something. She puts her phone way up high to do the recording. So, Emily, tell us how you do that.
You always look amazing. I love it.
So, while we're waiting for Emily to answer that, I'll ask you another question. Do you do dance cardio?
Okay. I'll look. She posted a picture in her story I can see.
Okay,
cool. I'll check that out. All right, so here's the truth. I have not adopted dance cardio. I try and I last like 7 minutes. And I know when Cassie was saying in hers, like, it is, Cassie, if this makes you feel better, I did play sports. I did cheerleading. I have choreographed routines and I feel like I'm half out of control. But honestly, I feel like my heart's going to explode. It is so freaking hard. But I'm hoping that maybe Attain or just seeing everybody on their bouncy floors, that someday trying that will motivate a little bit more. But it does hurt my knees too. But I'm on my basement floor with that like thin pad on top.
Right. It makes a huge difference to have the bouncy floors.
But I am going to try Courtney's. I'm going to try it this week because it looks fun. So
I've heard such good things about it. I might consider trying it too. We'll see.
Do it. But yeah, like some of these people amaze me. Like Loretta and Katie and Suzanne. I'm like, these people are crazy. You make it look so easy, and then I'm dying 7 minutes in.
Yeah, really. 7 minutes is like as much as I can do without like a water break. Like,
Oh, and that's another thing. Like when Tracy this week, she was like, when the music breaks, people want water. I'm like, I want water like every other rep.
Exactly.
I need it. I'm so thirsty.
Yeah, and we're so sweaty. It's like, how do you just drink water 3 times during the whole hour?
Emily, that's the one I'm going to try this week. And I think it was Lashana or someone last month. I did their bonus cardio, and they snuck in weights the whole time. I thought I was going to die. I'm like, oh, what's this? I didn't sign up for this. I signed up for dance cardio. There you are, like,
seriously. That's a lot. Cardio with weights is a lot.
Yep.
So what do your friends and family think of the Tracy Anderson method?
So some of my friends think I'm just obsessed. But I'm one of those people that when I do something that I love, I cannot shut up about it. So I'm like, oh, you should do this, and you should do this. Yeah. But I try to keep my family life private from my other Instagram life so that it's not awkward or creepy or any weirdness. Yeah. But my good friends, I feel like they have seen the changes. So they are always like, oh, yeah, I'm going to start. And I'm like, well, when? Like I gave my one friend, she's a teacher, and she does Tracy in her classroom. So she has my old Metamorphosis DVDs. I'm like, just start there and see what you think. Yeah. And just trying. But my family in my house, I feel like my husband's super, super supportive of it because he knows that it's like my time and that I see the results, he sees the results, but it just makes me a nicer person. Like when I get my workout in and it actually matters. Yeah. But his biggest fear, he's like, oh, I hope she is a good person. Because if you meet her at Vitality Week and she's not, you're going to die. I'm like, she's amazing. What are you
She's
talking about? He's so worried for me. He's like, what if you're let down?
No way. That would never happen.
I know. I'm like,
Never.
She's amazing.
She's incredible. Incredible. Let's see what my next question is. Do you have a motivational quote that you would like to share with the Tamily?
All right, I do. So I have my joking one. It's my motto for life, but then I have a real one. So my joking one is "Better Work, Bitch" by Brittany.
Good.
My friend and I, every time we check in on Facebook to travel, and he's male, by the way, and he loves Brittany too. And every time we gripe about work, he's like, "Better work, bitch." We just write BWB, so no one knows what it means. But if we're feeling tired or we're not in the mood to teach that day, he's like, "BWB, BWB." But even in her song, she's like, "You want a hot body? Better work, bitch." It's true. You have to put the work in to do it.
That's true.
Another quote that I think is just really, really good that kind of resonates well with me is, "Be the person you needed when you were little." So I try to think about that all the time with just my kids, and in like even with my niece and giving her guidance. Like, she's 15 and it terrifies me right now because she's definitely just wanting to fit in and wanting to be thinner, and she's worried about how she looks compared to everyone else. I'm like, oh. So I just wish even when I was little, I had someone to be like, "It's okay that you look like an 8-year-old boy and you're 17 years old.
Right.
It'll all be okay."
It will. Oh, those are both awesome. I love those.
So one's kind of obnoxious and one's nice.
Obnoxious works. It's got to be motivational. I don't know why I'm falling over today. My goodness. Okay, we have a question from Cassie, and she said, "Do you also still do Peloton?" I don't know what that is.
So the Peloton tread, on occasion. So I was doing it consistently. I am very competitive with my male coworkers, and they wanted to run that Disney 10K. I hate running, by the way. Hate it, hate it, hate it. But I was like, if they can do it, I can do this too. So I was running a lot when I was training for the Disney race. So I was running 3 times a week. Now I really only run about once or twice every 2 weeks. And honestly, it's if I have 30 minutes and I know I don't have time to do anything else, or I'm just sore from Tracy and I don't have the time, or I'm not in the mood, then I'll hop on it. But that's mostly now for my husband. But I don't do any of the other Peloton workouts because I'm afraid they'll bulk me too much.
Oh, okay.
My legs bulk. That's also why I don't do the Peloton bike.
Mm-hmm.
I used to spin. I get like really big quads. So.
Yeah. You don't want that.
Mm-mm.
We want Tracy quads.
Yes.
What is important to you in your life that you would like the Tamily to know?
Oh, geez. A lot of things. Let me see. So I feel like my work is super important to me, and I feel like as a woman and a mom, you're not supposed to say that. I'm supposed to say, like, my husband and my kids, and of course they're super important. But I feel like we wouldn't have our lifestyle and the vacations, and my kids wouldn't have as much freedom to do all the camps and ridiculousness that they get signed up for if I didn't work so hard. But I do love my job, and I feel like it is making the world hopefully a little bit safer for them. But all of those things are important, and it's just so hard. How do you juggle all of those things, and how are you good at all of those things? So I always tell people, like, if I'm really good at my job today, it means I'm being a crappy wife or a crappy mom. And if I'm being a great mom today, it means I'm being crappy at my job. Because these people, like, Twitter is a huge part of my career, which is good and bad. So I feel like people are expecting me to just tweet something insightful or nerdy every day, and I'm like, ugh. I'm trying to be a mom today. Like, someone reached out. I'm at Hershey Park with my kids. Like, that's why I'm not responding to you on Slack today. Right. So I feel like wherever I'm doing really well one day, I'm doing really bad in another one. And that's the one thing about Tamily. It's like something that's consistently good every day I do it. Even if it's a crappy workout, someone writes something nice, I'm like, oh, that wasn't so bad.
Right. Right. And you never regret a workout.
Mm-hmm.
Emily would like to know, what was the very first job you ever had where you got a real paycheck?
Oh, I worked at Al's Pizza answering phones.
How fun.
Yes.
That's great. Where was Al's Pizza?
It was in Enola, Pennsylvania, which is right across the bridge from Harrisburg, a really, really teensy tiny town.
Oh.
And yeah, Alice was like just this local town pizza shop. And I had to get, I don't even know if this is still a thing, but I had to get working papers. Do you guys remember that? Showing that you were 14, a working permit?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know any kids that even have jobs.
Right.
I'm like, I don't know if that's really a thing.
I think
But I loved it.
must still be. But
Yeah, my second job was at
Maybe
Long
not.
John Silver's. I worked at Long John Silver's in the drive-thru.
Oh my gosh. That's quite a ways from where you're at today.
I know. I also did paraffin hand dips in a nail salon after college. I couldn't get a job.
Yeah.
Like, are you seriously dipping people's hands in paraffin? I'm like, I am, Dad. I get them lattes. I shop a nice latte.
It's a job. Like, you're making money.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, well, I guess we've sort of answered this one, but still, tell us where you live and what you do.
So I live outside of Philadelphia in Chester Springs, Pennsylvania. So I'm about, I guess, 40 minutes from the city. And it's not too bad, except when I have to drive to the airport like tonight, and I'll be griping about it. So I'm really close to For the Love of Peachy Bottom, but we haven't had a chance to get together yet.
Oh.
The schedule is just total crap. And the digital forensics. But I really do have two jobs. So I have my teaching job, which is kind of my side hustle. So when I'm traveling all around, that is for my side hustle mostly. Unless I'm at a conference doing a speaking gig for my day job. But I did government contracting for the last almost 17 and a half years.
Oh.
And now my big switch is all government contracting and working for a vendor, doing forensic research, which I think is going to be amazing, but that's where a lot of the cattiness is coming from. Because for 17 years, I've worked with all the vendors, but now they feel like I've picked my favorite. So I have to calm all the men down and try to help them realize I love them all, which really I'm just about to say, F you.
Right. Exactly.
So be it, all done.
Well, I've lasted 37 minutes without cough syrup, but now I'm going to do it.
I like that you're chugging it. This is great.
Oh my goodness. I could not miss this interview though. It's the 50th one.
I'm going to text my husband and ask for more wine. Let's see how much he loves
That's
it.
a great idea. And then our next question for you is going to be super fun.
Okay.
Meg said not to forget to ask you for 2 truths and a lie.
Oh.
So we'll have to guess in the chat which is the lie.
Okay. I have to think of things I haven't posted that you would know. Okay, so I got a first place state medal in track. I grew up with just my dad, and I've been robbed at gunpoint in McDonald's when I was 18.
Huh. I feel like. Can you say the first one again?
I got a first place state medal in track.
That seems possible. I don't know. They all 3 seem possible. I'm going to guess the second one is not true. Let's
The
see
robbed
what
at gunpoint in McDonald's?
No, I think that one's true.
Oh, what did I say? That I lived
Grew up with
my
just
dad?
your dad?
Yeah.
Is that what the lie is?
Are you ready to know?
I don't think so, because people have not answered. Oh, Nicole's guessing first place track is not true. Meg is guessing being robbed is not true. Sunshine is guessing track is not true. I think track is true. Okay, tell us.
Track is not true. I got 4th place.
Oh no! 4th! Well, you changed it, so we couldn't tell.
Yes. I was trying to think, I'm like, oh, I almost gave all 3 truths accidentally, but yes.
Okay, we have some more questions in here. I have to scroll through. Oh my god. I could never knock this iPad over more often. Nicole would like to know what your favorite book is.
Oh my gosh. Maybe Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna.
Okay.
Or Summer Sisters by Judy Blume. That is
I think I read that.
It's really good. I love a lot of the Kristen Hanna books. But yeah, Firefly Lane is so amazing. I think that's who wrote it. It's fantastic.
What's
Everyone read it. It's about very similar to Summer Sisters, but a girl who lives with her grandma and seems like she has this amazing life, and she meets a girl that lives across the street where her dad's really strict, and they become best friends and grow up together, and it's amazing. It's amazing, and it goes into their adult lives and all the bad things that happen. It's super, super good.
Sounds like a good Tamily book. Okay, Kristen would like to know, what 3 things would you need to survive on a desert island?
Chapstick. I'm addicted to chapstick. Chapstick,
Good one.
water, or my water bottle, so I could at least collect rainwater somehow. Oh, geez, what would I pick next? I don't know, a blanket or a sheet or something to cover. I can't sleep uncovered. It's really weird. Like, I can only have, like, this part of my body showing. I get completely freaked out and can't fall asleep.
I can sympathize with that. It's definitely more comforting to be
But if
covered.
I had to choose just one of those things, it would definitely be chapstick. I can't do anything in my day without chapstick.
I agree with that. So Nicole and Meg are asking if you'll tell us about the things that were true.
Oh, yeah.
Talk to us more about those.
Yeah, so the robbed at McDonald's, it was my best friend. And what's crazy is we still work together, both in our side hustle and our regular job. Now I'm leaving her, so I guess just... But it was her 18th birthday, and we went to McDonald's, and I didn't even have purses back then, but I finally got a purse, and it was across my body. Thank goodness. And this guy slid across the countertop, and he had a pillowcase over his head, so I thought it was a joke. So I started laughing and looked at my friend, and he held a gun up. He's like, "You think this is funny?" I'm like, "Oh my God." And then there were 2 guys behind us with guns, and one tried to take my purse, and I actually was like, "No, no, no." And the police, they were kind of mean when they got there. They're like, "Are you crazy? You could have been shot. Like, give your purse, give them anything." But I didn't want them to have my address.
Yeah.
Like, I think of is like, no. It happened really, really fast, but insane. So still to this day, I'd like to go into McDonald's or any kind of restaurant like Chick-fil-A's that have the play place in the front, because I think that's why people couldn't see what was going on. The play place where kids play blocked the restaurant.
Oh my God.
But that is crazy, and I did grow up with just my dad from when I was 13 on, which is wild because my mom lived like maybe 12 minutes from me. But so my dad is great, but it's I don't know. It's very difficult as a young girl, like, to get your period and be like, "Dad, we need bread." And he's like, "No, we don't." I'm like, "We do." So I begged my friends to be like, "Hey, can your mom get me tampons?" Like, so all of that was really awkward and like wanting to go on birth control and all of those things. But it made us closer overall. But it was just difficult. So that's the thing too with like Tracy with the working in with the quiz thing that she did. The one thing that like you hold grudges on, it's still to this day like my mother. So that's also with my quote, like, be the person you needed when you were little. It all goes back to like that.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Kind of, yeah. But my dad's, he's pretty cool. At least he's
good. Well, it's always awkward with dads and
Actually, that's him up there. I don't know if you can see him.
Oh.
Yankee hat.
Oh. Okay, I think we've gotten everything in the chat. Just make sure. Good.
But fast. And my husband failed. I guess he's sleeping or he doesn't love me enough to give me wine.
You need more wine. Well, while you have this audience, is there anything else you would like to share with the family?
Let me think. I honestly, everyone motivates me so much, and this is one of the greatest things I think I've ever been a part of. And it's, I don't know, and I work in a really tight-knit community in forensics, and we're all really good friends and all really supportive of each other, but nothing is like this. Like, I think the fact that anyone can join and everyone is supportive and nice, that we learn from each other, and just seeing everyone get together, it's, I don't know, it really is squad goals. It's like something I've always wanted to be a part of, and it's the Nice Girls Club.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. So
It really is.
That, and I just love that one little tiny human like Tracy can like touch all of us all around the world all the time. It's so wild to me. like the success and how all this. I can't imagine how she must feel.
Seriously.
It's wild.
Especially because it's not just that all these people do this workout, but we're all connected to each other and set up meetups and, try to spend a crazy amount of money to spend time together. Like, it's amazing. It really is. It's the most incredible community. So Aggie just joined and she said, "Is it almost over?" And we are getting close to our hour. But Aggie always asks really great questions. So she needs to ask a question before we finish. So Aggie, we're giving you some time to think of your question. And Meg asked if I would give 2 truths and a lie.
No, do it.
I guess I will, but I don't usually have to think during these interviews. I can just ask the questions. So I think I'm a horrible liar would be a truth. So just so you guys know that. Okay, let me think for a second. Okay. I'm moving to another state in 8 days. I got married on Memorial Day, and I had to get an antibiotic shot yesterday.
I think Memorial Day is your lie.
Does anyone in the chat have a guess? Okay, well, you're right. I got married on the 4th of July. And I've posted all of those things, so people in the chat should know as well. Okay, we have Aggie's question for you. Let's see. What is the biggest lesson that your mother taught you?
Okay, so this is good. Believe it or not, I have learned lessons from her.
Good.
So there are 2 things. Honestly, watching how my mom, so I had other siblings that never lived with me, that my mom had them, and they lived with my grandparents. And then she had another one that lived with, like, her grandparents. So it's like she closes all these doors. But what I remember always watching her and thinking, I will not do this. I will be able to live for myself. So I have made it that I can financially pay for every single thing that I need in my life by myself. So I will never need a man to take care of me. It's great to have one, and it's great to have support, but I don't need it. So I feel like I learned independence from this. I don't want to say her failures, but maybe her hardships or just who she wasn't made me who I wanted to be.
That's a very good point. Nicole would like to know, what's the biggest lesson you learned from your father?
Oh, my dad. He always is like, I told you so. My dad probably, I credit him for all my confidence. He's always been my biggest cheerleader. Like, you can do anything you want, but I always yell at him for this still. Like, I read a book once, and my dad would be like, "You're fast for a girl. You can jump high for a girl. You throw like a girl." And I'm like, "Dad, I am a girl." He's like, "I know. And I'm proud of you for that, but you're still a girl." I'm like, "Dad." But he's like, he made me confident enough to compete with the boys. And I swear it was always for a girl. Like, he was always, and I'm in such a male dominant field now that I'll make a joke of, my dad would say, "I do this for a girl, but I'm smoking all of you." And that's what they're like, women in forensics, like the top 50 most fascinating females. And I was placed in this, and I said to I'm like, "It's so cool, but how about the 50 most fascinating people in forensics?" And I want to beat out some guys. Like, why does it have to be just females? Like, where's the book? Right. I want to be in that book. Right. So he taught me that men can be the mother and stay at home and do these things, and women can lead the pack and make the money, pay all the bills. So it was completely flipped, which I appreciate that. He used to roll my hair for cheerleading. He's like, "I have no idea what I'm doing." I'm like, "Dad, just do it. The moms are doing it. You have to do this."
Aww. That's so wonderful of him. Aggie asked what you do. I know you already said it, but please let her know.
Sure. I do computer forensics or digital forensics. So a lot of cyber crime type stuff, fighting against child crimes, terrorism, all the bad things in the world that happen on computers, Macs, smartphones, those things.
It is so super cool. That's my favorite thing about these interviews. It's like finding out all these amazing things family members do. Like, who would ever know in this workout that people are like stopping bad things from happening and caring for people? And it's just really, really cool. What an amazingly diverse community that we have. But you have one of the coolest jobs so far, probably out of all these 50.
That is so awesome. Like, wait, what? What does that mean? I'm like, oh, no, I don't know.
Awesome. And Maggie said, "Welcome to my world." So I think she does something similar to that.
I like it, Aggie. You'll have to let me know what you do.
Yep. So I know that I already asked you for your like last words to Tamily, but we want to thank you for being our 50th interview. We do have one more question. Schultze is asking, what is your handle? I want to make sure I'm following you. So it's Heather M_Tamily, right?
Yep.
So thank you again for being our 50th interview.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And thank you everyone for watching in the Tamily. And this interview will be on my feed for the next 24 hours. And then it'll go on YouTube forever in a few days. Yay! Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
Thanks.
Bye, Tamily.
Bye.